Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the Women Make Mentorship Program training. I am Marisa Brown, the Manager of Women's Engagement and Inclusion with the Manufacturing Institute. So, to know a little bit about us before you join the program, we are the workforce and education partner of the National Association of Manufacturers. Our goal is to build, diversify, and strengthen the manufacturing workforce. We have several areas of focus, with one of them being women. So, the state of women in manufacturing. So, women workers make up almost half of the workforce in general as a whole. But when we speak on just the manufacturing industry itself, they make up a little under 30%. We have created a 35 by 30 campaign with a goal to increase this number from 29% to 35% by 2030. And one of the main pieces that we believe will help us to increase this number is the Women Make Mentorship program. We believe that mentorship is a great tool to help women that are in the industry and also interested in the industry to network, to connect with one another, to navigate different challenges that women face in the industry, learn from one another, from everyone's experience, from different backgrounds and so forth that can really enhance one's career and help with someone's career trajectory. So, a part of this process to help you grow your career is to build a personal board of directors. Within a mentorship program like ours, you can find one of these people that will play a role on your board of directors. But to give you a little guidance on how to get started and what type of people would make sense for your board of directors, we have some advice for you. First, what is a personal board of directors? It is a tribe of mentors. So, it is different people in different capacities within your life who can provide numerous perspectives on you and your career. This is people that you can go to with questions, concerns that can help you to give you a third party perspective to help you navigate those things and come to a resolution. So, how to establish a personal board of directors? So, we think of this in three different categories of people. First, people you know well. These are friends, family, colleagues, people that you went to school with, advisors. Think of anything from financial advisors to tax advisors to the advisors within your life, whether that be a mentor or your boss or someone in leadership at your organization or people that you've known in those type of roles throughout your life. Third is people you admire. You can have some fun with this, but also think about those people who influences you. Are there any social media influencers that really speak to you? Are there any celebrities that you really look up to and they have the same values that you do? Now, I will say getting a celebrity on your personal board may be a little difficult, but like I said, you can also have some fun with this category. For example, someone that I would love on my personal board of directors would be Taylor Swift. I think of this as someone who's a great businesswoman, has great talent, and also knows how to market well, and is just all around a well rounded person. And that is someone who just everything that I value, she is a living proof of it. So that is somebody I would definitely love if possible. So think of those types of people. For all of these different categories, think of who influences you. Whose perspectives do you value most? Is there someone in a situation that you always think to yourself, wow, in that X situation, this person always knows what to do. If I ever get myself in that situation, this person is my go to person because they have X, Y, and Z skills that would be really helpful. Think of who has your back, who, when you ask them for advice, always puts your best interest at heart. And also, who comes through with resources, even if it's something as simple as, I need a babysitter next week, or, I need some financial advice. Who are those people in your life that you can go to and you know that they have an untapped pool of resources in whichever capacity that would be really beneficial to you? Now, we have advice on the types of people that you could really be beneficial for your board. We have 5 here. So, first, we have the truth teller. Everyone needs that someone who tells you the cold, hard truth. There are times where, we want to be, we want to share information and we want to have someone say, you know what, you're absolutely right. But sometimes, you need someone who says, why don't we think about it this way? And gives you that third party perspective that just doesn't worry about emotions and things and just tells it like it is so that you can really have a clear view of that situation. Next, we have the sponsor, someone who's willing to put their reputation on the line to advocate for you. So this one's a little more difficult to find because this would have to be within your organization. It's not too hard, I should just say. Talk to your bosses. Find those people that would make sense to be your sponsor. These are people who, when you are not in the room, will speak highly of you. One example, let's say you are in an ERG and you have created a project and you have led the project within the ERG. And let's say there's someone in the leadership team that is on that ERG and has seen you lead that project and do it very well. When they're looking to, create a position of a higher level than the one you're currently in, that person, when they're thinking of, is there anyone internal that could do a really great job at this role? That's that person would be able to say, you know what? I saw X person in our ERG. They led this great project. I think they could be really great for this role. So something to think about for that and to work towards. The third person is the innovator, someone who gives you resources and fresh ideas and who can think outside of the box. Think of someone who doesn't think like you sometimes. Think of someone who is just one of those few that has, was always bouncing off different ideas of maybe we could do this, maybe we could do that for whichever avenue of life, professional or personally. It's always nice to get some fresh ideas and to think about things in a way that you don't, because sometimes we miss out on things when we look at it in just our small perspective. Fourth is the expert, someone with experience in your role and or your field. So if you are looking to be, a leader in your organization and you want to connect with someone who's already been there, is already a leader, and you can learn from them on the steps that they took to get what they are and learn their advice and the steps that they took so that if that is something you are looking to do, you have something to follow. And lastly, the safe space, someone you can vent to about personal and professional challenges. We all need this, someone that we can just share everything with, not worry about judgment, and just be able to know that they will be trusted with this information and that, they can comfort you in that situation. All right, so now that we're starting to think about who these people are, let's separate these people into 3 columns. First is the people you know well. The second is the advisors in your professional life. And lastly, those you admire and look up to. I'll give you just a minute to write down some names that have been popping up now that I've been talking to you for a few minutes about these people. And if you need more time, feel free to pause this video or take a look back at it at the end of the session. Okay. Now, next to each name, write your relationship with them, whether that's friend, colleague, boss, whoever, their organization or company, or if they're a friend or family, then you can just write that. The specific knowledge or skill that comes to mind when you think of them. If you were going to describe them to someone else who doesn't know them, and they said, what does this person do really well? That's what you write down. And their contact information, so that when you want to take that next step and recruit them to your board, you have their information right there. And I'll give you just a few seconds to start getting those written down. Okay, so you have your people, you have what they can bring to the table, and now start thinking about what are three ways your personal board of directors can help you in the year ahead, both in a professional and a personal level. And now, lastly, the last important step is to actually recruit these people to your board. This is very simple, I promise. Simply ask. So, all you want to do is just reach out to them in whichever capacity you feel phone, email, text, what have you and just say, hey, you know what? I am looking to build my board of directors and I really value X, Y, or Z skills that you have. And I would love it if we could chat on whichever cadence makes sense for you both. Or reach out whenever something comes up. I would just love to be able to connect with you and to learn more and to help grow. Would you be open to doing so? Like I said, you can set the cadence on whichever capacity makes the sense to you. You could do it quarterly, you could do it monthly, you could do it on an as needed basis. Feel free to make that what works for you both. And I know it's a little strange at first, but believe me, everyone, when they receive that message, will be so honored that you thought of them and that you value the X and Y skills that they have, and you would love to be connected with them and that you admire them. And if they say no and they don't have the capacity or the time, that's okay. That is why we're making a list today so that you have some other people that can be on your list as well. So now that you start to think about these people, you can also find the different personal board of director type people in the mentorship program. So, next, we are going to go over a resource that you will be able to utilize throughout the 9 months of this program. Everyone will meet once per month for about 45 minutes to an hour. We have created a great guide here that has monthly topics, monthly mentee assignments, resources and suggestions, tips and tricks to make sure that you feel prepared for this program. And when in doubt, we are always available to help you. But first, let's dive in here. We have a few things you can check out when you receive your guide. But first and foremost, think about this. We always want to go into something that we're investing our time, energy, and or resources in, and we want to have something, a goal that comes out of it on the other side. So start thinking before the program begins, what are your goals for the program? What would you like to see at the end of the 9 months? Is there a certain skill you would like to acquire by then? Is there a networking opportunity you would like to create? This is a great opportunity to start writing those down so that when you meet with your mentee and or mentor, you already have that established and you can share that with them. So that will help you to create a successful mentoring relationship. And in the mentorship platform, which we will go over in just a few minutes, you will actually be able to create goals in there so that you can keep tabs of where your goal to is at that particular time, your progress to goal, and eventually when you achieve it, you can write your feedback in there and you can have a full list from start to finish of all the progress you've made throughout the 9 months. Okay, so we have some suggestions to think about before your first meeting. We also have a sample email that you can use, and you can fill in your own information and replace all the generic pieces so that it's personalized towards you. We will get to that at the end of this guide. But this is something to think about as you're preparing for the mentoring relationship. You want to share some things ahead of time so you can feel as you're already starting to get to know each other even before you've met. And so when you first meet, you've already established that relationship and you can already hit the ground running. Some things to think about sharing are, something as simple as what is your favorite food and snacks, a dream vacation place, or a favorite place to visit. Things of that nature that are very light and can just really start to help get to know one another. And then here is the breakdown of the 9 months of the program and the monthly topics that you will see each month. We'll go over one just so that you can see what it looks like. We will go to month 3. So, as I said, each mentee will have a mentee assignment so that you both don't have to worry about what to speak on each time you meet. You have this structure here for you. When in doubt, you can also feel free to go off of this and to work on a topic that is, speaks to you. If there's something that's really pressing in your life at that time and you really rather steer off course for this 1 month, feel free to do so. But we have this here so that you feel you have something to fall back on in case you don't have something like that. So, month 3 is about personal branding and networking. And we have a mentee assignment here about Pixar's storytelling activity, which is really fun. It's really cool. It's Pixar of all things. So each mentee will be doing this. We'll also encourage mentors to do it too, because hey, we can always build on our personal brand. And then you'll come together that month and share what you've learned and so forth. And the mentors will have a version of this guide as well. And they will be knowing what you're doing that month so they know how to bring some resources or some advice about whatever topic is for that month. Well, we will skip through some of these. And then the last month is just an open discussion where you can review the whole mentoring relationship, what you've learned, how you've grown, and feel free to close any circles of anything that you started at the program and you'd like to close out here, and so forth. And then here is that sample email, as we said. So we advise mentees to send the first email after being matched so that you can share a little bit about yourself and start scheduling a meeting cadence. Now, mentors, if you haven't seen a mentee message you after you've been matched in a few weeks, feel free to send this to them as well, but we advise mentees to do it first. And if you have any questions on this, again, you can always reach out to us. And this is a nice structure here that feel free to fill in all the information about you. And lastly, I'd like to provide some scheduling tips because, hey, we're all human. Things come up, appointments happen, life happens, what have you. So, if you have a meeting scheduled and something pops up and you need to cancel, please let your mentee and or mentor know as soon as possible so that everyone has the respect of their time and that you can schedule the next one as soon as possible so that you can keep the momentum going and you don't have to worry about the months kind of getting too close together if you have to reschedule too late and whatnot. So please be respectful, like we said, of each other's time. And there are some tools within the platform, which we'll see in just a second, that will be able to help you to stay on schedule and to keep those times in line so that you don't forget, and a way to chat with each other as well. So that is where we will head next. Okay, so once you are in the mentorship platform, you will see this as your home page. There's a few key pieces here. There's a lot of resources on here, a lot of capabilities that it has. First, this is just a quick overview of the program. Now, this is an example piece, so the timing and the dates won't match up, but you will see the one that corresponds to your program when you go into your home page. And we have the links to everything here. And then we can first take a look at the matching form, which is very important to this process as the way you answer these questions within the matching form will help us to give you the best and successful mentoring match on the other side. So there's a bunch of algorithms that are in here that take a look at both responses for mentors and mentees to see who would be appropriate to match up with who. And we take a look at all those things to make sure that this is a successful and appropriate match. And we look to see what does each person either bring to the table as a mentor or I'm looking for as a mentee. So you will see in the matching form, there are a few areas. This first area, just a focus area. What are you looking to get out of this experience? Do you want to learn how to set professional goals? Are you looking to build leadership skills? Learn how to advocate for yourself? Things of that nature. We go over a few topics here like career planning, understanding the industry and corporate culture, diversity, and leadership. Next are what called forced choice questions. It's just seeing which of the two sides of the spectrum do you correlate with the most. The next section is personal characteristic questions to learn, your personality style, what would make sense for the matches as a whole. You can see some of those questions here. And then, oh, this looks familiar. This is where you can rank the different relationship types within a personal board of directors that you're looking for either in your mentor or you as a mentor, what type of person you are and what you can be to your mentee. So you'll rank these from most important to least important. And last but not least, we have some open-ended questions here. If there is anything that was not covered in this form that you are looking to get out of this experience, please feel free to write it here. We look at all these answers and because we want to make sure that you have as strong of a match as possible. So, quick form, about 20-25 minutes. Very simple. And then let's go over some few resources on here that you can utilize throughout the 9 months. First and foremost, if you want to send a quick chat so you don't have to worry about emails and getting into spam folders and things like that, you can chat with your match. This is an example here. So you'll see a testing 1, 2, 3, but you can see the idea here. It's like an instant messenger where you can message your match and they will get a notification that a notice that a chat has been sent to them. They'll be able to hop on in here and take a look at what you sent them. Very simple there. If you want to connect with us, there is an email box here with my information that will send an email directly to me so that I can help you as quick as possible. A few other things. There is a tab where you can create some goals, like we mentioned earlier, and you can start to build those out here. There is a great tool called mentoring sessions. So this is where you can schedule your meeting with one another, and you can put once you have your match, their name will pop up here. You can select a time and date that is appropriate for you all. And you can say which month this is. If this is month 3, month 4, what have you. And the nice thing about this is that it will send a message to you to let you know that your session is coming up. And then once your session has concluded, you will receive a notification in the system that says a little write-up that you can rank the session, how you feel it went. And there's also a little write-up that you can write some feedback, some things that you went over, things you want to work on for the next month. And it's really nice because once you've had a few sessions, you can see the progress throughout all of them. And you can see all the feedback and all the work that you've been doing. It's really nice to look at the end of the 9 months and see all the progress you've made and all the work that you've done. Also, there's an email messages where you will see messages from us. This program didn't have any messages, but if we did send any, which we will, you will see those here. And lastly, there are plenty of resources so you do not feel like you are left in the dark and do not know what to do or have any advice on different scenarios. We have everything here for you. We have our guides here. We have extra guides from our platform partners. some different things for FAQs for mentees and mentors, feedback after a meeting, some listening guides, and so forth. So we've got you covered on all different fronts. And last but not least, if you are playing two roles, if you are both a mentor and a mentee, you will see at the top of the screen here that you can toggle between both roles, as we would like you to fill out two matching forms, one for your experience as one and one for your experience as the other, as they are both very different in design, and you have different goals and outcomes for what you wish to be accomplished at the end of the session. So that is it in general for this. There's also some other breakdowns that you can see here, some focus areas, some help when in doubt. You have our email that you can email us whenever you have any questions or concerns. We are always here and happy to help. And thank you so much for joining us today and for your participation in the Women Make Mentorship program. This is going to be so beneficial for you in both your professional and personal life, and we are looking forward to your mentoring journey beginning very soon. Thank you again, and have a great rest of your day.